Hufflepuff scarf today instead of a stole like I very often do, because today we're going to be talking about one of my very favorite sets of books, which is the Harry Potter series, in honor of all of the families that are getting ready to enjoy Hogwarts Camp online in the coming week here at Northwoods. But before I start talking about Harry Potter, I want to remind us of something that we did last week. Last week, we created this visual representation of the ways that we are all connected here at Northwoods. And I used this red string to indicate our connections. And I named those connections with the words that we like to use here at Northwoods, which are compassionate community, spirited searching, and courageous action. These are the threads that make up the string that binds us all together. Now, there was a particular reason that I used red string in this activity last week, and it's because of an East Asian belief that originates in Chinese mythology of the red thread of fate. Now, this legend tells us of an invisible cord that is also red. It's a legend, go with it. An invisible cord that is tied usually around the finger, but sometimes the ankle, of those who are destined to meet one another in their as their soulmate, if you will, to use a Western expression. And these two people are connected by this red thread, regardless of place and time and circumstances. And this cord may stretch, it may tangle, but it never breaks. So this is why I chose the red string. Because in some tellings, this legend is not just about those who are destined to be each other's true love. In some tellings, that red thread connects any two people who are bound to affect each other's lives in significant ways. So when I chose that red string, it was to depict the ways we are connected to each other and also the ways that we touch and shape each other's lives. Now, if you brought some yarn or string today with you to service, that is fantastic. You might want to grab it. It's going to come into play later. If not, I invite you to find a piece of yarn or string later to participate in our little ritual. Now, this is not my first red string. I, in fact, have 3 red strings that I keep in a special box. One is from my home congregation in Little Rock. One is from a leadership school that I went to when I was a young UU. And one was from seminary. And in all of these threads came from a ritual where people pass a ball of yarn back and forth to create a visual representation of the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. And the process of creating it ended with it being cut into pieces and every person taking a piece as a reminder that we are part of something special, a community of care and curiosity and love and support. Now, if we were in person, I might have created this web using people to move a string back and forth between them. But since we are not, we went in a different direction. Instead of recreating this memory that I have, we made something new, which might be even better. So this week, I asked you to bring a string with you to service. And if you have it, I invite you to take it out and hold it up in front of you. And if you would like, hold it up in front of you. If you'd like, we can go to gallery view and see everyone holding up, well, many of us holding up our strings. And it almost Looks like we're connected to each other even though we're not in the same place. Isn't it funny how that works? We do it every Sunday. And if somebody who is not as busy as me wants to take a screenshot of this, I think it would look really cool. Just for the sake of interest, if anybody feels so compelled. As we are holding our strings up here, I want to share with you a quote that was read every Sunday in my Little Rock congregation. It's from the Reverend David Bumbaugh, who says, "We are here dedicated to the proposition that beneath all our differences, behind all our diversity, there is a unity that binds us and makes us one, in spite of time and death and the space between the stars." Let us pause and witness to that unity. Now let me ask you a question. Does this string mean something different now that we have done something special with it, that we have named it as a representation of the ways that we are connected to each other through care? Maybe. Maybe it depends on whether or not you believe in a certain kind of magic. Because let me ask you another question. When you come to Northwoods, even when you come here on Zoom, does it change you? Do you come away different? That too might depend on if you believe in this kind of magic. Because to me, the alchemy of what we create here together is more amazing than any philosopher's stone and any dragon breathing fire. This is our magic, the way we care for each other and lift each other up as one and many. So I invite you to think about what you might like to do with this string in your own home. Like me, you may want to tie it around your wrist as a reminder. You may want to put it in a journal or a book that you're reading and use it as a bookmark. Maybe you want to use it to create some art, which you could then show us at the August 28th Art and Talent Show. Maybe you want to place it on your altar or in a special box or on a special shelf. It's up to you. But I invite you to take this string and put it somewhere you will see it as a visible reminder that you too are connected to some powerful magic, that you are connected to all of us, and that you are loved.